Hey my fellow foodies, how you doing? I'm so glad you stopped by to see another video on my channel. I really do appreciate your company. Today we're going to do a fingerling and lentil stew. Absolutely delicious. You know that when you add lentils with some carbohydrates, you have a complete protein, and it's so good for you. In a skillet, I've added 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 onion that I've coarsely chopped. These things are going to be simmering for a while, so if you make them too small, they're just going to disintegrate. I don't know what it is exactly that I'm running around doing here, but the onions are simmering away on kind of medium low heat. We don't want them to get brown and crispy, just kind of soft and translucent. Give them a zhuzh around every now and then so they don't turn black on you. And I think I'm finally going to find the garlic that I was looking for. Nope, maybe not. Oh, there it is. I was searching all over and I think I had already prepared it and forgot that it was there. Yeah, it's quite a lot of garlic, but it really adds a lot of good flavor. Fingerlings and lentils can be pretty bland unless you boost up the flavor. So I'm going to add all kinds of things that make them taste better. To that, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. You need to cook out tomato paste. It has a very raw flavor if you don't cook it out. So I'm mixing that around with the onions and the garlic, and you see that the tomato paste is starting to kind of get mellow, and it actually changes a bit color. It tends to be bright red in those tubes or in those cans, but as you cook out the tomato paste, it mellows down to kind of a soft pink color. I'm adding 1 pound of fingerling potatoes. Now these aren't always in season, so if you can't find them, use mini potatoes are good. And if you can't find any of those, just use regular potatoes and cut them in quarters. It is all good. I'm using fingerlings here only because they were in season and because I really like the shape. They tend to have a better texture than regular potatoes, probably because they're a little bit smaller. They also do not fall apart very easily, and they taste a bit sweeter. I'm adding some salt and pepper. Not so much salt, but extra pepper. Some of the other things that we'll be adding will have salt included, so we need to cut down the salt at the beginning and you can adjust it at the end. I'm adding a dash of Maggi. Maggi is made from vegetables. It's a concentrated vegetable broth kind of. A dash of this will boost up any kind of vegetable flavor. It adds delicious umami to meat. And now I'm adding a quart of cherry tomatoes. These happen to be heirloom, but you can use any kind you like. You can use all red, you can use all yellow, you can use all orange. It doesn't matter. Use whatever mix you have, whatever's on sale at your store. I'm adding to this about 1/2 cup of vegetable broth. While this is simmering, the broth is going to disappear and concentrate and make the flavor of the veggies even better. If you find it's too dry, just add a little bit more vegetable stock. If you don't have vegetable stock, water would be good. And if you want to be a little fancy, add a little bit of white wine. That would be delicious. We're bringing this up to a temperature that will get everything bubbling. I'm covering the pan and I'm going to let that simmer until the potatoes just start getting soft. Isn't that starting to look good? Oh, this was so delicious. And because it's a complete protein, you really don't need anything else except maybe a crisp green salad. If you wanted to, you could also serve this on some rice or some couscous, but it doesn't really need it. It's good as it is. It's good as a side dish. See now that some of the stock has evaporated, the sauce is delicious and smells great. I'm now going to add a 10-ounce can of cooked lentils. I have not drained them. I'm adding the juice to this stew. These happen to be green. If you wanted to use your own dried lentils, you're going to have to start the recipe with the lentils first and get them cooked and then add everything else. Otherwise, your lentils will just fall apart if you use cooked lentils at the beginning. This is making a delicious vegetable sauce with the tomato and the garlic and the onion. And you see it's kind of wrapping around all the vegetables and the lentils. Doesn't it look good? This was so yummy. The tomatoes have kind of fallen apart and imparted their flavor to the gravy kind of that's been produced here. And there's the finished dish. As I mentioned, have it with a crisp green salad. Have it on some couscous. It is so good. You must try it. Totally vegetarian and totally good for you. If you like the recipe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Just love to have some more foodies here beside me. Thanks for stopping by for a new lentil recipe that warms your soul. We'll see you next time.